I'd wanted to have my stomach fixed now for years. I lift weights, like bodybuilder weights.
Oh.
And I've been in fitness forever in my whole life. So it was something that I had to get fixed. So my husband was watching TV, and I'm on the computer in Vallarta, and he said, "Honey, isn't this what you want to get done?" And I said, "Done for what?" He said, "Well, come here." So I walked in the living room, I look at the TV, and I'm watching this guy in a mask. So I waited and waited, and it was the Dr. Motykie. So the next day I got on the phone and made a consult. And that's how I found this guy. I interviewed 7 plastic surgeons over the last 4 years. Most of them were here in Beverly Hills, and a few of them were where I live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And none of them had the compassion, the integrity for their work as Dr. Motykie. Dr. Motykie listened to my concerns. He didn't voice his opinion as many doctors do because they have all the answers. And Dr. Motykie was more interested in what I was feeling about what I wanted done, more so than what he thought I should have done. And he made the process very easy. I had no pain, I had no discomfort. I had to come back to Dr. Motykie's office so that he could make sure I was still in order. And we got in the car and we drove here the next day, and Dr. Motykie took the drains out that were from the mini facelift. And that was it. The office staff here was so helpful. I'm going to tell you a little story. V is Dr. Motykie's surgical assistant. She takes out all the little bits and pieces and tapes you up. And coming from Puerto Vallarta, and after the surgery was done, and I went home to my house in Hollywood, California. I have another residence here. I needed a surgical garment. And being in Vallarta, I had no idea where to buy a compression garment. You can't go to Macy's and buy it. You can't go into a compression store and buy these things. And I had absolutely no idea of how to go back to Vallarta and be in one piece from the liposuction and from the abdominal work that he did. V drove 2 hours from wherever she lives with a lady friend of hers to bring me a surgical garment in my house in Hollywood, California. 2 hours to Hollywood and 2 hours back where she lived. I was so impressed with the follow-up and the dedication. Just before when I came back for my post-op procedure, I looked at Dr. Motykie, and after everything was done, and he's a magic man. He's an artist. He has a very, very good visual of what he wants to do, and he executes it. I know everybody in Vallarta. I have made Dr. Motykie famous. Everybody who has even thought about plastic surgery, having their boobs made smaller, larger, incisions fixed, masses done with the doctors in Vallarta, they all now want to come to Dr. Motykie.